everybody!
Hello!
Is that the voice we're doing?
So, with us today, we've got, as you may have noticed, Brennan and Jello. Two stars of the Upwind show.
Stars.
And Stabby. And Jay, I mean.
Yeah, Stabby's literally always there.
Moving on to the main point of this video, we wanted to just answer some frequently asked questions about
Some
Upwind.
facts.
And also let...
Yeah.
Yes, some facts.
Welcome
and
to
also
the
let
fact.
everybody know when Upwind is going to be coming out and like what that release schedule and such is. First off, because I think I'm the only one that really knows about it, the release schedule for Upwind is every Thursday.
Whoa.
It will be coming out, every Thursday.
That's 2 whole days after your Thrilling Intense.
Yeah.
You have plenty of
Whatever that
time
show
to
is.
digest it, and then digest something else.
Exactly. See, you get it. This arc should last like 4-ish months, and then we'll start another arc, maybe with a guest.
Multiple arcs confirmed.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Yep.
Yeah, multiple arcs for Upwind confirmed.
That means the crew didn't
tune
die.
in every Thursday.
Yeah, spoiler
well, now they know
alert.
we don't die at the end of this.
Oh,
Thanks
wait,
a lot,
shit.
Foss.
Yeah, wait, never mind. I forgot that you died.
Well, now they know that we die at the end of this arc. Thanks a lot,
It's
Foss.
okay.
We just
Cyber
re-rolled
Quig-
characters.
Yeah, no, Mecha Quigley in the next arc is pretty dope. You'll like it. Now, I happen to have this long list of frequently asked questions from the comments that I brought just for such an occasion. What's an Upwind, Fost?
Okay, that is a very broad question
Yeah.
that I will do my best to answer.
Yeah.
Upwind is a tabletop RPG that forgoes dice because dice are bad.
That answers like 3 of my questions at the same time. Like, why the heck don't you use dice?
Upwind uses a system called the Q system that stands for the quantum system. It was created by Jeff Barber.
It's
instead
really,
of-
really fun and so much
Yeah.
better than dice.
And it's great
It's just better than dice.
this format of storytelling.
Yeah.
It uses a 52 deck of cards minus the rules card and one of the jokers for
Joker!
players. Joker! And each card in the deck, each suit in the deck, is related to a specific element in the game. Ore, which is earth, arc, which is lightning, wind, which is wind, and rain, which is water.
Now, where does
And,
light factor into all of this? Is Don and
I
OC
hear
Don't
that-
Steal?
I hear that Don is a pretty fresh OC.
I hate the way you said that.
Don is a
What
very
an awful
fresh OC.
sentence.
Oh, I loathe that.
There are, for players, 2 different decks. Potential decks, which is your magic deck, basically. And that magic deck will correspond to the element that you've chosen. Basically, you choose arc, or wind, or rain, and you separate all of the corresponding suit out into its own separate deck, and you draw from it separately, as opposed to the rest of the cards, which are called the play deck. You get, I believe, I forget how many cards. Players, how many cards do you get?
6.
Yep.
I get 7 because I have big hands.
Yeah.
That's right, you get 7 because you have big hands. So you get 6 play cards and 4 potential cards. Potential cards are used to do magic, and play cards are used to do normal people stuff. And basically, the reason it's better than dice is because the numbers on the cards correspond to... It's basically a pre-rolled dice. Like, you get much more agency in your own... in the randomness that decides your actions. You can choose when to have a higher chance of success or have a higher chance of failure. Because as a player, you get more narrative control in the story.
But you're
and
gambling.
sometimes in the story...
Yeah.
Exactly. You're gambling. And sometimes it's more interesting to fail in the story, and sometimes it's more interesting to succeed. And sometimes you really just want to succeed. So, yeah.
That's when you
That's
stack the
up-
jokers!
And the best part is there's a
Exactly.
bunch of strategy to when to use your good or bad cards, because if you use all your good ones, you're fucked for a while.
As you can
and
see
so-
in the first episode.
Like, yeah, like I remember in one of the sessions we kept doing things that Faust wanted to succeed, and eventually she ran out of bad cards that she because you're playing against the GMs when you want to do something.
Yep.
So if you get higher than the GM, you make a gamble for what you want to happen, and then it happens. And the GM makes a counter gamble that happens if you lose.
Which answers one of my questions. Why is Faust so evil on this show?
You know, Faust is a great GM.
Oh, I'm just trying to tell the best story.
Cracks knuckles.
Yeah.
Like, while you've hit the general mechanics of Upwind, there are some, like, There's some specific stuff that you can find out probably by watching, but yeah, that's the absolute basics. Like, you play with the deck of cards, etc. There's other junk like escalations, and
Yeah, there's more complicated rules that you get into later.
It's a mostly pretty simple system, though.
Yes.
Like, it's a lot faster to pick it up than most other TTRPGs I've played.
God.
And I
So
believe
easy to
we
pick
chose to leave in the discussion of the cards because it's interesting discussing.
exactly. Like, unlike TI, we aren't cutting out the rolls, finger quotes, because the gambling aspect is half the fun.
It's
of
a
this
negotiation,
game.
really. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's a really good point, Brennan. Like, we leave in a lot of the, like, talking about what we want out of plays, because success or failure, that still reflects on the narrative. And I find that interesting.
Also, sometimes we either, like, build on each other's ideas or, like, change midway through what we want to do, and it's way funnier to hear that change and escalation than to just go, oh, that happens.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes there's a funny joke.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Upwind featuring funny jokes.
A funny joke.
Oh, let's not overstep.
A
Upwind.
funny joke.
Funny joke.
Which episode will it be in? Watch them all to figure it out. Upwind, coming out 1952.
Now, I have some remaining questions.
Go on.
Can you, like, you hit up the mechanics really quick. Could you give me a quick rundown of the lore so I can know what the heck is going on?
Give me that juicy
Absolutely.
lore.
Yeah.
The juicy lore, it is very juicy. It is probably one of my favorite settings, as well as one of my favorites.
It's a good aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's a really
Sky
good
Pirates.
So, yeah, Upwind is all about a vast, potentially boundless sky. It is a place where most land masses are floating in the air, suspended by an ever-present upward draft coming from below. Basically, Upwind, if you look at it like a cross-section, the top is called the Bright. It is just brilliantly white and hotter and hotter and hotter the further up you go. Moving down from the Bright, things get to be more habitable. And that's where the vast majority of these floating islands are. And this is called the Convocation of Kingdoms, or the Convocation of the Light. The Kingdoms in the Light. There are a couple different names for it. Most of the islands kind of vary in elevation here. The topmost islands some of them are called, like, Bright, and that's, like, a very arid place with, like, water is very scarce. It's very dry. Anybody who has rain potential, which means they can control water, is generally regarded very highly. It is a matriarchy, I believe. It's a very religious place as well. This is where Clover hails from, actually. Her super rich family.
That's where her family's from.
Kind
yes.
of. Her family hails from Bright. And then moving down, you get to other places like Verdant, which, as its name suggests, is a very, very forested, very green place. Imagine just a bustling bazaar with plenty of shops and stalls and colorful banners and all kinds of vegetation sprawling throughout, and just homes and houses built into ancient ruins that have been, like, since stripped bare of their valuable resources. That's Verdant. It is essentially the capital for the good guys, quote unquote. That's you, by the way.
That's us.
Ray!
Wait, we're the good guys?
We're the good guys.
I never would have guessed with how evil our party is.
Yeah, all those murders are starting to rack up. Anyway. And then moving down, it gets darker and darker and darker and colder and just more humid and just very, very hostile
Moist.
to life. Yeah, nobody wants that.
The two halves of Upwind, the bright and the moist.
And you get, like, all kinds of just horrible monsters down in the darkness. You get, like, just wild storms of potential that can't be controlled and just blow ships
Because
apart.
potential's in
You
the
get-
air.
Yes,
Should mention
yes.
that.
Potential is in the air. Potential comes on the wind that blows up from the dark at all times.
Some
the
would
thing that
say
keeps-
an upwind.
Yes. So I lost my place.
Good to see our chemistry is still there.
Yep.
Yeah. Potential is on the wind, and it comes
Right.
out from the dark magic shitty place.
Exactly. And it keeps all of the islands afloat, as well as the ships, which harness the potential in the air with something called an induction hole. Basically, when the wind hits that induction hole, which is kind of plated on the bottom of the ship, it charges the engines in the ship, which are magic, and that keeps the ship afloat because I said so. Or rather, because Jeff Barber said so.
Long may he reign.
What are the names of the knights that explore on the ships? What is their deal?
What are the name of the exploring knights?
Yeah.
Yeah, what would you call
They're
exploring
called the
knights?
Explorer Knights.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Aptly named.
Sometimes they're called Adventurer Knights, sometimes it's the Adventurers Guild, sometimes it's the Explorers Guild. But basically, amidst all these islands and kingdoms that are disparate, there is one consistent force, and that is the Explorer Knights. Their
And
job...
that's what our party belongs to.
Exactly! You guys are Explorer Knights. You're the quote-unquote good guys. And what your job
Very good
is, or
guys.
rather what the job of all Explorer Knights is, it's to go around and keep the peace. Basically, all of the kingdoms are your jurisdiction. You are basically there to make people feel good and safe, and to also explore places that are dangerous to see if there are, like, usable resources or anything like that. In a world of floating islands, things can get scarce.
Do you need to go to school to become an explorer knight?
Boy, howdy do you! There is a specific school for the Explorer Knights. You all actually attended it, which we will see in future flashbacks.
Are we in debt?
What about my student loans? What about John's student loans?
As far as I know, you're not in debt. If you want to be in debt,
No,
Sure,
Clover's pretty
no.
rich, actually.
I'd like to make a play to not be in debt.
okay, that is a 3-card play with
All
a
right,
challenge cash.
I'll just draw the top 3 cards for example's sake on my deck. See what I got. A 7, a 9, and a 2.
Oh, look at that! I got 3 jokers and then a 4th joker.
You did not. You don't crown a joker.
A great example of that. If Faust wants to, she could ruin it for everybody.
Oh yeah.
So when bad things happen,
Faust is
it's
real
her
nice
fault.
to us.
Yeah.
Faust is real nice to us for the most part, but boy, can she screw us over, because the GM has, I think, 10 cards at all times.
Yeah. That's an adjusted rule that came in recently. It's 10 cards, and if there was one more of you, I'd get another joker.
Oh.
I'm glad there's 3 of us.
Yep.
For now.
Can't wait for the
Looks
guest
at
in that
camera.
next session.
Yeah, now, one more detail. Say you graduate from the academy. Do you get anything cool?
You sure do. You get employed by the academy. So you
Job
get sent off
security,
Yeah, you get job
It's
security.
better than real life.
This will
You
be
get-
great for my massive debt I now have.
You get sent off on missions generally with the people you trained with through school because you formed a tight bond, and people who with tight bonds work best together usually. You also get a specialized sword tailored exactly to you, called the Explorer Knight's Blade, or your Knight's Cash. Not C-A-S-H, but C-A-C-H-E.
We don't have any cash because debt.
Yeah, you do not have any Knight's Cash.
And Clover doesn't have a sword, she has a hilt.
That's tight.
Yeah, you could choose what shape your Knight's Blade takes. So, like, yeah, we all have crazy custom swords, or sword
Yeah, no.
equivalents.
Additionally, whenever you graduate, you get a rank of Blaze, which is a tattoo that symbolizes your accomplishments in the guild. These tattoos take on a somewhat uniform shape with unique flares. They vary in position on the body from person to person. So you all need to figure out where your sick tats are still, I think.
I know where mine is.
I know where mine is.
I know where mine is.
Mine mine
wow,
shows
okay.
up somewhere in this adventure, I think. It gets mentioned.
It does get mentioned.
Clover's modest, so you'll never see it.
It's on her arm. Clover blushes.
Other than that, I think that answers most of. Oh yeah, one more
We've
final.
got one more important question I know, and I think I want to ask this question to you guys.
Uh-oh.
What?
This is one that we've seen a lot in the comments actually, and it's a pretty important one as far as like just Upwind and our channel goes. Whenever we use our abilities, or whenever you use your abilities, people have noticed that you put a lot of emphasis into it, and they really want to know, is that a JoJo reference?
Yes.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Well, actually, I guess...
I mean, mine's a Magic School Bus reference.
Yeah.
I guess we could explain that our abilities, we get to choose our abilities, and they cover a wide variety of things, and you get to name them. So, Jay and I thought it would be fun if we just named it after songs. And Jello thought it would be fun if he named it after the Magic School Bus episodes.
Yeah. Me and Brennan decided ours first, and then Jello one-upped the shit out of us.
I wanted to make it thematic for Quigley, and there are no songs about, like, geometric angles, so I decided to do
You're
a
looking in
children's
the wrong
educational
place.
show.
So Clover is Queen songs, and Dawn is David Bowie songs, which is why our combined technique
And you'll notice
is Under Pressure.
There is actually one more question, which is the stream that we did before canonical?
not even. No, you do not need to watch the streams till it start Upwind.
Not at all.
The streams are essentially an alternate universe with little to no relation to the current thing.
Except for some of the same people exist, so maybe in the future you might see some.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you won't need to.
Sorry for playing Quigley twice and making that confusing.
No, it's fine. Quigley's a great character.
It's fine. They're just alternate timelines, and there are dead timelines too. It's fine. All those characters just probably.
Yeah, that happened to be a dead timeline that the stream was in.
Oh yeah, no. Something irreversible happened in the future, probably.
Something irreversible.
Anyway, if I have, say, super cool Upwind fan art, what should I do of let's say my super sick original character? Where would I send it?
So if you had a super fresh OC that people would want to make fan art of, I would really appreciate it if people sent that fan art to thirdwheelin@gmail.com. Because not only does that fill my life with joy and make me feel super good, Upwind is going to have a fan art fridge equivalent very soon.
Oh yeah, we are.
And we will feature fan art.
Yeah.
Also, thank you for all the very cool fan art so far.
Oh, it's been so wonderful.
Fast and strong.
So amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so happy, Foss, that you colored everyone with the hair colors they have, because it looks so nice in a trio where and that's how everyone draws them all the time.
It's got a good aesthetic.
Yeah, it's real nice. Thank you, everybody. Coy attitude aside, the fan art's been spectacular so far. You guys are the fucking
so
best.
good.
We look like humanized versions of a legendary Pokemon trio.
Holy shit.
That was an accident.
Oh, man. So, yeah, that answers all of my many questions on this list that I totally made up. Other than, my bullshit questions, you mentioned a rules card earlier. Can I use my artifact to play the rules card in Upwind?
We didn't explain what artifacts are.
Oh, boy!
I don't even remember what mine does anymore.
Cut the recording!